right person comes along. Or you can just use ZipRecruiter.
Michelle Fixit. Today is still July 5th, 2023. We just went the Georgia line. So we are no longer in South Carolina. We are now in Georgia. You guys have had a smidgen of time to charge up. You're going to see what you're at. You're only at 24%. The other guy is dead. He's gone. Kitten is still asleep, and I'm playing with some ideas to make sure that my O, if she is in the Mississippi area, the SIP, the OS, the Cleve, any of those areas, coming up with some ideas. Maybe use a little duct tape, little redneck engineering, a guide read of sorts. I don't know. I'm playing with some ideas because I want to make sure that they know that mommy is there. I want to make sure that they feel safe and comfy at a place that, you know, is familiar but doesn't feel as safe and comfy now that they're out and about. And I'm super proud of them. I keep saying that as much as I possibly can. So you guys are just going to hang out with me for a few minutes. We'll listen to the radio and we'll enjoy Georgia. Okay?
KBB.com. The journey of life. First, search for the one. Listen to the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast for all the hot goss from Bachelorette for some great tips. Once you find the one, the heavy communication starts. The Pen Pals podcast can advance your education by Dan Van Kirk and Rory Scovel responding to letters from listeners seeking advice. Now that you're in the throes of coupledom, Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan help you navigate the trials and tribulations by sharing their own experiences on separation anxiety. Your journey starts by listening to these podcasts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is NFL quarterback Rodney Peete, and here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by AutoZone.
That Steelers just had its unbeaten streak of 3 games. They visit New York City yesterday. Baseball and majors last night. Braves' 9-game winning streak ended with a 10-inning loss to Cleveland. Meanwhile, Durham rallied to beat Norfolk. Charlotte was marked by Jacksonville. And Joey Chestnut did it again, winning his 8th straight Nathan's Outdoor Winning Contest, counting 62 yards in 10 minutes. I'm Matt McCoy.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
99.9 Kiss Country has your chance to win $1,000 right now. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Making money. Now give me my money.
Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's GRAND.
Enter that keyword right now at 99kisscountry.com and good luck.
It's $13K a day on today's hit country. 99.9. safe here, throwing it back with John.
Today's Hit Country.
They're on all the socials.
You should definitely check it out. 99.9 Kiss Country.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. I kissed your lips, make you grip the sheets with your fingertips. Last bottle of Jack, we split a fifth. Just talking about life, going sip for sip. Yeah, you know you love to fight, and I say shit I don't mean, but I'm still gonna wake up on you and me. I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night. No way it was the last night that we break up. I see your taillights in the dust. You call your mama, I call your bluff. In the middle of the night, pull her right back up. Yeah, my friends say let her go. Your friends say what the hell, I wouldn't trade your kind of love for nothing else. Oh baby, last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. We said we had enough. I can't remember everything we said, but we said too much. I know you packed your shit and slammed the door before you left, but baby, something's telling me
I love a good roller coaster. I love amusement rides at parks and wherever. But I do have a
someone was
nightmare.
asking
One of my
me,
nightmares about roller
or I
coasters
in the
is
group
coaster
chat
being
that led to me
trapped
being able to find my own. There was questions about, like, they were like, I don't know how to drive. And like, this would be a great driving video, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I mean, I know you guys can't hear it, but I use my turn signals all the time. Every time that I have to switch in and out of lanes, you guys are riding, and you can see. And so, appropriate road safety would be like, if you're driving, for whatever, and this is just a rough thing, don't quote me on this, it's based off of memory. I did get my license when I was 14, so, you know, it's been a while. But my general rule of thumb, like what he just did to this guy was wrong. It was really, 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 really crappy for a semi-driver to do something like that, so I'm going to put some distance because he's got to, like, now slam on his brakes. So that driver, who's actually calling staff, should not have done that, because he just cut that other guy off, unless they're using their intercom, their CB radio. So they do have CB radio, so they can talk. So, like, hey guy, I need to cut in front of you because there's going to be a big bump or something in the road. And the other guy says, roger that, go ahead, I'm hitting, you know, slowing down a little bit. If you're a little car, what they commonly call a four-wheeler, do not do that, because that will, semis don't stop on a dime, guys. And there's just like a lot of people not doing common courtesy. And I guess I'm going to have to turn the air conditioner on because, like, it's kind of hot, it's kind of loud, and my voice keeps getting messed up because, like, I'm having to yell at you guys, but I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm having to project my voice, and so it makes me sound different than what I sound like in real life. But here's the thing, is like, when you're driving, if you're doing, like, you know, whatever, 10, 20 miles an hour, for every 10, 20 miles an hour that you're doing, try to keep a car length distance between you and the person in front of you. That way, accidents don't happen. Different states have different rules on it because we are a nation of states, and so we are all allowed to make our own little rules. But then other states get jealous of our rules, and then, like, they get grumpy because they're like, hey, why don't our rules change? Gerbicatas, and it's this whole big thing. But for road safety, for this conversation, we're going to start talking about things that we see. So, like, all the orange is like, hey, super caution, we're working on constructions. That in the U.S. is like a universal sign for construction, is orange. So program in your head, if you see orange, that means that there's construction going on. Sometimes the construction takes forever, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes some states are smart enough to have it at night, so it only is annoying to the nighttime drivers, but then they blind you with the lights. And that's why, like, all of these little sensitivities, like, guys, gals, me's, and O's, okay? I am a mommy cat who grew up identifying as an Aspie cat. Take that as you want. You can get grumpy with me because you guys can call yourselves whatever you want to. And whenever I was diagnosed and said, no, I don't have this, and then diagnosed again, I said, no, I still don't have this, and blah, 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 so on and so forth. That's what it was, okay? At the time, whenever I finally accepted it, you know, they have like Aspie girls or something. They have all these different, you know, girl type of things. So if you're looking at Asperger's and you're not looking at it from a female perspective, it is not the same criteria as a male. I hate to tell you guys this, but even though all of our stuff is very similar, plus or minus dangly bits, you know, our brains work and we assimilate, and we have different types of coping mechanisms, okay? So you really need to look at Dr. Tony Atwood and some of his presentations, his lectures, to teach other people about it. Because we're so caught up in, like, word usage that we get all grumpy about, like, certain things. And it's very frustrating to me, because if we're constantly changing what we call things, how are the people that don't have the rule book supposed to catch up? And you know what that's like. I mean, from my perspective, and I do say we a lot because I typically talk about myself as I am a business. I am the business of Michelle, okay? Currently, I am Michelle Fixit. I have assumed multiple different names throughout the years for different businesses and for different marriages that I've had, okay? So, like, that is a chameleon-like feature where I assimilate to my environment. You guys need to learn how to do that. Because right now, speaking to someone that could very easily come out and say, oh, I am a pansexual or a bisexual or whatever, and I have no problem because I do meet the basic criteria for that. So before you get all judgy with me and pretend to be little miniature Karens, you guys need to understand that what you guys are doing is the same stuff that you don't like, supposedly. You're getting all grumpy and yelly at people for things that are the same things that made you feel uncomfy. So if somebody was yelling at you, saying you need to stay in the closet, gerbacatas, are you going to be like, oh, okay, let me stay in the closet for the rest of my life because, like, you're yelling at me. Let me try to, like, you know, become more heterosexual because I identify as being a homosexual. Or I am bisexual, but, you know, I'm going to try to fit your little, you know, heterosexual model or whatever. Or girl power. Or any of the stuff. Like, if they're sitting there calling you, you know, insert not nice ways to say feminism, and they're screaming at you, are you going to be receptive to that? No, you're not. And don't even lie to me. Don't even sit there and say, oh yeah, it would totally work for me, because it would not. I can speak for me, okay? I identify as a me, and I identify as being very gender fluid, because I do meet the criteria for that in a different fanciful way, okay? Because I assimilated to my environment in a different way. And, you know, my sexual orientation is my business, for one, but I would meet the criteria for different things diagnostically. So, don't point fingers at me, because I can literally give you a play-by-play on, like, how I feel about female anatomy and male anatomy and vehicle anatomy and all the rest of this stuff. So don't get all grumpy with me, okay? I accept everybody. Do you? Do you accept that some people had a different upbringing than you did? And, like, maybe, just maybe, instead of, like, yelling at people, you need to, like, try to see their perspective, ask them questions, and then have the reverse done to you. Because as soon as I find something that's unique and special, like, I don't know, say a unicorn, I'm like, hey, you're super cool. Can I pick your brain about, like, all the things that make you super cool so that I can better understand you, like you're an anthropological study? I am nice. Clearly, Charlie doesn't want to be nice. He wants to be a little baby Hulk and tear the world apart. Like, that's just what he wants to do, okay? He's a baby. He doesn't understand all this stuff. And if you guys are doing all this, like, when baby Hulk grows up, he's going to be so confused. And poor little fiery unicorn, she's passed out back there. She's going to be all confused. And you're going to confuse more of my children. Like, my oldest one has already gone through a lot of stuff. And I went through a lot of stuff. And, like, they don't even know all my stuff. And so if you guys want to start having these Me Too conversations, like, I can join the party. I will air all my dirty laundry. And if people, like, try to dig out things that are ridiculously personal information that are going to try to, like, harm me, I will blast. I will blast with my information that I know, because people forget that I've been like a little vault of secrecy, because everybody gives me all their dirty little secrets, okay? And you know what I do? Because I don't share people's personally identified information, and other than like what I'm doing right now, which is driving around and just recording like everybody else out here. So before you get all grumpy with me, this is a public space. Technically it's a private space because of photos of my vehicle, but no one out here on these roads is presumed to have any type of privacy outside of their little wheels on boxes, their little crunchy shells, for their little squishy bodies, okay? When you guys are trying to be crunchy and like harmful at the same time. And it's very frustrating to sit here and watch it. And it's why I don't get into politics, and it's why I don't get into social media outside of this endeavor that I have, which is documenting my life, because it's so fanciful that for some reason people are just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you exist, blah, 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 blah. God bless you if they're religious, or you're the best, coolest person ever. But for some reason, the one person that there are three people that I heavily prioritize over everyone else, and those are my children. But for some reason, the first one got all messed up being in this ridiculous world. And, you know, what happened to feminism? Do you guys realize that, like, I don't know, there still hasn't been, like, a female president? Or, like, what about, like, sexual orientationism with the presidency? Why don't you guys start working on that kind of stuff? And if you are working on that kind of stuff, then I'm just really dense, okay? I don't know all this stuff. I don't know you guys' little rules. I tried to learn the rules. I tried to learn the alphabet stuff, and that is not meant in a condescending way. It is a way for me to explain that I did learn the stuff when I was in high school. And then it keeps changing. And then I see you guys being mean to each other on social media, and you guys are literally fighting for the same cause. And you're like, oh, you didn't do this, and you should have done this, and blah, 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 blah. That's mean girl crap. That is mean girl crap. That is cliche, not cliche. Click stuff. Okay, I was a little social butterfly because I didn't want to get involved in that crap. And for some reason, even though my kitten is doing amazing work, super excited about them and everything they're doing, you guys want to pick and poke at them, acting like you're better than them, and you're sitting there in the safety of wherever you are behind a screen, as usual. What are you doing to change the world? Besides grumping at other people that are trying to make things to make everybody else's little happies come out. And I want to know what happened to Jaden, because I was not aware of that until very recently, and I'm still very upset about that. And I tried to look, and I didn't see any updates. It's ridiculous. You know, you guys have little brothers and sisters, or maybe nieces and nephews, or cousins. In your quest for trying to make the world a better place, you're making it where you guys look like bad guys. And I like you guys, because I identify with you guys. Jeez. I don't say any of the bad words. I scold people for saying the bad words. There's like different R words that I can't stand people saying in my presence. Even the people that have them and use them, when I am their audience and they say those words, I scold them. And so eventually, at least with me, they'll stop saying it. And then eventually, if they say it whenever they're around another person and me because they slip up, and I scold them again in a nice way, I will eventually acclimate them to their to their environment, because their environment's changing. And you guys, whoever you are, this is just a generalization for people seem to think that only their things matter. Nobody's a big picture person. They think they're big picture people. But like, if you see that homeless people are street signs, like, that's not cool. You need to wave to them. Give them a nod, something. Like, you guys are making my head hurt. Like, I'm tired and everything. And like, somebody could give me a sobriety whatever thing, because like, yeah, I'm a little caffeinated. But outside of that, I'm on a mission and I'm completely safe to drive. But it's really, really frustrating, even just hearing about the stuff that everyone is doing right now. And I say everyone as a generalization because, like, I have 3 generations, I think. I have a 17-year-old, I have a 10-year-old, and I have an 18-month-old. Can we really work together and make this better? Because, like, houses are falling down in Baltimore, literally killing people. There's a lot of big city problems that are going to start trickling out, and already have started trickling out, to the little suburban places where the white flight happened. Do you guys know about redlining? Do you guys know about any of the cultural things that happened? Like, come on. What are they teaching people now? This is just so frustrating. I'm going to tune you guys out for a little bit because my head literally hurts.
Like a whiskey shot of last calls, like she was made for moving on. That girl is going, going, gone. I could say it wasn't meant to be. Never meant to be misunderstood.
big weekend in Charlotte is coming up very soon. We're a week and a half away. Do you have everything planned? You got your hotel booked? Are you set, or are you going to make the drive? Are you going to try to make that drive? I've done it before. It's not the most thing in the world. It's doable.
This town ain't got no nightclub. We don't need no neon light. Girl, I can pay 87 gas up pretty early after in the drive. Keep it ice cold. Looking at you with your hand out the window. I'm turning right while you're turning me on. Riding bars and don't nobody go down. A little trip through the countryside. It's 30 years making the world go round. I hit a curve just to make you stop. It's a passion, yeah. Only thing that I wanna show is love had nothing to do with you, baby. Just riding roads on a night like this. Riding out there where the moon hits the water, out there where your lips sit right. I don't know where we are, but somebody stole the street signs. I'ma take my sweet time. I could go on forever, but you did right shotgun. I'm afraid, so private making plans, baby. Here we already got one, girl. Riding roads that don't nobody go down. A little trip through the countryside. It's 30 years making the world go round. I hit a curve just to make you stop. It's a passion, yeah. Only thing that I wanna show is love.
I want to make a special note. If you see this like black line that's in the road, and you feel how, well, you can't feel it, but you can like visually feel it, how it's bumping the Trailblazer around. If you're driving and you see one of these ruts, do not do the rut, because that is where there's like a break, and so you're gonna be jostled around a ton. All right, and it's more difficult to control your vehicle if you're doing that. If there wasn't so much heavy traffic, or if there wasn't so much traffic on the other side, then I see, and everybody's still speeding. Like I'm going 5 over the speed limit in this construction zone, and like the semi is about to pass me, and I guess I have to speed because now I have a line of people, even though this is not safer. So if you guys see the line in the road, then don't drive on the line, because if you drive on the line, you're going to get jostled around, and if you're not experienced, you could have a vehicle accident, okay? So that's like a mom tip. I don't want you guys having boo-boos while you're out on the roads, because a lot of you are very young drivers, and you didn't have a cuckoo bird daddy cat dog that taught you how to drive, and like put you through all the extremes, because he was trying to make sure that, like, you know, you survived the driving phase of life, okay? And I take it very seriously, because it was put into my head several times during basically daddy's boot camp on driving. He would just randomly like jostle my steering wheel and pull my e-brake up and push my knee down on the accelerator and like do all these weird things and make me drive in all these very terrible conditions. You know why? So that I'd be prepared for life. Because life is not going to come with warnings on flashes. Life is not going to come with warnings on this guy is a bad guy, this guy is a bad girl. It's not going to have any of that. You have to become smart enough to be able to make those choices for yourselves. And like while we're sitting here arguing over words, good guys are being painted as bad guys are being painted as good guys, and it's just a whole big mess. But because you guys are so stuck on word usage, which don't get me wrong, I like, you know, a little bit of wordplay. I do. I like funny humor. But guys, girls, me's and O's, especially the graduating class of 2024, you guys are about to be big guys, girls, and me's and O's. You're going to be grown-ups. And like, yeah, part of you has got to be super duper excited because you're like, yay, I'm going to be a grown-up and nobody's going to be able to tell me what to do. Hee hee, ha ha, ho. And then like, the other part of you is like, meep, I don't know what to do. I want my mommy. Can my mommy still make me appointments? I don't know how to navigate this. Because I don't know what's going on academically with the schools, but I know that like when I was in high school, I took entrepreneurship. And, you know, that's the class I was in when 9/11 happened. And I didn't get any type of warning on that. We were all shell shocked from that, okay? And like that created a huge problem, and then it created a huge unison with this country. And I guess because like we're just not paying attention when people are poking us as a country, because we're so busy poking each other that like we just don't notice it. But guys, girls, me's, knows, like look around. Is this where you would want your sisters and brothers to grow up? Are you worried about them being in school? What about your cousins? What about your nieces and nephews? Like, you know, I know you guys are all trying to change the world in your own little ways, or your own big ways, but we really got to start like getting back to the basics on a lot of this stuff, because, you know, before COVID, I saw history repeating itself with my kitten getting poked, like my other kitten was getting poked. It's like, let's poke at the little kitten that comes into school and she has manners. And she was getting picked on because she had red hair and she has red eyelashes and her eyes were lighter because a lot of the people in her classroom were darker than her. And she didn't understand it because the people in Baltimore, which were way darker, they didn't have a problem with her. They loved her. They call her Busy Izzy. And like she has all these, you know, super colorful friends in the Beemore. And then she would go to school and like she'd be getting picked on for stuff that she couldn't help. She couldn't help it that she had red eyelashes. She couldn't help it that she had red hair and lighter color eyes in them. And you know, in Beemore, they think she's fascinating. They really like her. And she's probably like a little anthropological study to them. And it's all about that exposure. But like where she was having issues. So then like me being the mommy cat that I am, I went up and I started volunteering. And like, you know, you have all these children, and one of the reasons that they're being all pokey to the other children is because a lot of them don't even like, they can't speak English. And they're having issues. And like, so I was given, you know, build gingerbread boxes with the children. We were doing it with like the little milk cartons and the graham cracker things. And I'm having to like charades what to do to the other children in the classroom. And like, they're all sick. Their little noses were all running and stuff. And this was before COVID. And like, the teacher, you know, was overwhelmed. Like stuff like that. Like that's basic stuff, guys, girls, me's, knows. Like, just open your eyes to other situations. Or like in Beemore, like they have to close school because the air conditioners don't work. And then like, you know, that affects cognitive function. So like, not only are these poor children growing up in a toxic environment where they're seeing all these beat up houses, and you know, mommy or daddy or whoever may have some type of substance abuse issue, and then they're growing up seeing that, and then the streets are calling them, and then like some people are calling them like, hey, come over here, I'll help you a little bit, but they pop in and out of their lives, and like that could be said about me. You know, I get it, but I try. You know, I was trying a lot more before COVID, and then COVID just messed everything up. Like, you know, I mean, it's just like we all have to start getting back to the basics. Just basic things that are supposed to be common sense. Because like the older people are getting really frustrated with the younger people. And I included, well, I'm not included in that a lot because I have a lot of older ways, because like I like older people. I love old people. Old people are like the internet before the internet for wherever their area is. They have so many fanciful stories to tell you guys. Like, I don't know why we don't start doing like, you know, oh, we're bored on Saturday, let's go to the retirement home. Let's go to a nursing home. Let's help the older people. Let's lighten their day and let's play some games with them and let's learn about their stories. Because here's the thing, as speaking of mincing words and stuff like that, we have history. Do you know what history means? History is his story. Why in this day and age do we not have more horror stories? And if we do, and that's a social media thing, then like somebody enlighten me. But like, his story has been told about things. There's two his stories. One that did some bad stuff. Another one that did some other bad stuff. And then there's me with her story. And nobody cared about her story. Nobody cared about her story of building daycares up from the ground, and everybody sitting there watching me do it and telling me, oh, you should have a reality show, and you're such a good little hard worker, and like being a little condescending but not meaning to be condescending things because I was a woman doing men's work. And then eventually the sweeties and stuff like that, you know, and that's a good enough job. It was like, that's a great job because I correct people. If I know that I'm doing well and like, husband cat gets so frustrated with me because I poke at him, and I put my name before his name whenever I'm doing the cards, and I put the female's name in front of the male's name when I'm doing all those little Christmas cards that society says that I have to do because I'm a wife and a mother, or a mother and a wife. Guys, gals, me's, and O's, you're losing your her story and your history, and it's very frustrating because a lot of people were here before you and they worked pretty hard to do stuff, and I'm still working pretty hard in my little area. So, you know, speaking as someone that would like to join the club, but like for some reason there's a bunch of mean girls, like I'll just not join the club, but I'll still advocate for you guys. But like, really just start thinking about how you're presenting all of your arguments, because just like Charlie's starting to cry, you guys are breaking my heart. Like, my little O is out there and she's being fantastic and she's being poked. They are being poked and I don't like it. And they're apologizing for being poked. It's ridiculous. It's a mean girl and guy and O and me club, and it's just very frustrating. Cammy was sent here just to make me happy because she is so sexy. My goodness. She's a naughty, naughty girl.
Aren't you something to admire? Cause you shine something like a mirror. Can't help but notice you reflect inside of mine.
And also, she doesn't have the right sexy butt, but she's still sexy.
The planets are hard to find. Still in the moment, there's a love on the other side. Cause we're going in a minute. I can feel the sun, I can see there's no place for to go. Just when you're on the past, I'm trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong.
You want to talk about triggers? You want to talk about things that bother you? How about somebody that identifies vehicles and people and can't even get it? It's ridiculous. I get triggered all the time on the road, and some sexy ram has to come up and distract me from that Subaru. And then luckily I met a guy named Jack, and he started like altering that, because in my mind, Subius, especially those kind of Subius, they bother me. Oh, there's an, oh goodness. Oh, and it's a state patrol too. Look at you. Woo! maybe some of the sock car people, like that's what I call them, the people that switch cars in all the time instead of just like keeping them, maybe they're pining after that one they lost. Like what if like you had a Mazda and then like you hit somebody and then you just like ran away because you were scared and you didn't want to get in trouble, and like you had to get rid of it and you got like a truck, but it wasn't the right kind of truck, it had a stick, and then like you're like, yeah, it kind of works, blah blah blah, and then you pay too much money for it and you're still just pining over that feel, that aesthetic, and that textile response and the smell. Like, ooh, if I got in, like, and it's funny because like I used to be a Caprice girl, not by choice. Mommy had a 85 box Chevy Caprice with a 305 in it, and it was the fancy one, and like she was so proud of that, and like my sister kind of smushed it, but it did sacrifice its life for my sister, which I am very grateful for eternally, and her little friends, and then there's still things that show in Georgia for certain people that understand things. And then like I had the 93 bubble body Caprice with the 350 V8 LT1 police interceptor in it, and like, woo, she could haul. And like, so even though the body was a little, you know, big, that horsepower, I'm telling you. And she was kind of fanciful, even though she was the plain Jane with the roll-up windows and stuff. But maybe that's why those sock car people that change them out all the time, they're like, oh, you should get another vehicle, you need a new vehicle. I'm like, I'm gonna keep this Trailblazer until I can't fix her anymore, and then I'm still gonna like become obsessed with fixing her. All right, that's me. So maybe you're just looking for your Mazda. Like, I don't know, and maybe you like even tried to like get a substitute from the high school days, but it just didn't fit right, and it's like you just keep switching back and forth because you're just pining over the one that like you had to, you know, hit something with it, and you know, then it's like, oh, I totally messed up and now it's gone, forever gone. Like every now and then you see one and you're just like, there it is, let me get all grumpy and mean, because like that's all I've been trained to do as a guy, is like be mean. And like for some reason girls are learning to do the same thing, which is very frustrating. And then like just people in general, they're like, oh, I like you, let me hurt you, because like now you know all my dirty little secrets, and like I feel vulnerable and I don't like that. And I totally get it, but here's the thing, don't share secrets unless you know somebody can tell them, because every time that you let anything get out of your head, you're letting someone have control over you. Just like, you know, some random mom advice. The same goes with pictures and stuff. Just because you've had some pictures taken, like I know that I have no, you know, super bad pictures out there. I have some pictures that people could deem bad and like horrible back in the day, but I don't have anything that I wouldn't be super duper uncomfortable showing my children once they're at an appropriate age. So just kind of remember that you're somebody's little role model, and when they see you in certain things, they'll remember it.